broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hi everyone, we're here at AFTERBUZZ TV for the Season 2 after show of Welcome to Sweden!
Yay!
We're back!
We're so happy to be back!
So if you don't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube at AFTERBUZZ TV and on iTunes and SoundCloud and all those good things. And you can follow us on Twitter at the Garsow Twins and follow along at hashtag ABTVWTS. Lots of letters, but we know you caught it.
Yeah.
So please follow along and chime in with anything you guys might want to talk about. But there were 4 episodes. Oh, and I'm Britta Garsow, along with
Carli Garsow.
the Garsow Twins.
Hey, guys.
The Garsow Twins. So there were 4 episodes to catch up on. Quite a few,
But they were great.
We're going to jump right in. So the first episode was called
Flash Mob.
Flash Mob. Duh, Flash Mob. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna jump right to the end because, well, I feel like the whole episode it was all right. But Bruce proposes to Emma using a flash mob. Did anyone else see that coming?
Well, he tried to propose.
Well,
didn't really work out.
Yeah, but I mean, did you ever see him doing that?
No, I honestly thought when Gustav mentioned it, he would just be like, "That's a terrible idea. I'm not doing that." It's not his style.
No, it's not, and it's very. I mean, it's very flashy, and as we know, the Swedes aren't about being flashy about anything. They don't really brag. They're just kind of all like on an even playing field.
Yeah.
So it's not very Swedish of him. It's not very Bruce of him. And I'm like, why is he
It was very
doing this?
Gustav of him. And I just didn't know why he listened to him. But it was a really cute idea. It went really, really terrible, though, and it did not work out.
Did you see the end coming when she kind of proposed and was like, so what are your thoughts on marriage?
Yeah,
Like,
because
do you wanna
Emma's
get
so
married?
casual. I saw that coming.
Yeah, I did too. After he had tried so many different things and nothing was working out, I just thought, like, she's probably just going to mention it because it is something that she would do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it made me really sad that Bruce was, like, so into marriage and, like, tried to talk to Birger and get his permission, and they were just like, what? Why are you asking us?
I think they were confused. I don't think that they were saying, no, like, we don't like you.
No, I'm
They just-
saying that they weren't enthusiastic about it because that's just not how they are in Sweden. And they were like, we don't really care about marriage here. Like, you don't have to ask our permission. And it was like he tried to do the right thing, and it just kind of backfired. And it just made me sad that he was so excited about it, and no one else was excited about it. Except for his parents in the end.
Yeah. Also, her mom says something like, our family doesn't believe in marriage. Are her parents not married? I can't remember that.
I couldn't remember either, but I don't think they are.
I don't think so either. If you guys remember, please comment and let us know. Because
when they said that, I also thought, like, oh, I do kind of remember hearing that they weren't ever married.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they made it seem like.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about, so last season, in season 1, they were living in the summer house, which was pretty, like, in the woods, kind of reminded us of Wisconsin back home. But now it's the winter time, and they live in their, like, loft apartments.
I was just telling Werda, I think that this is the best setting. I think I like it so much more than the summer house.
So pretty. Like, Stockholm, if you guys have been there or lived there, I'm jealous, first of all, but let us know, like, what it's really like, if it's really like that, because...
Yeah, and how cold it gets. They look really cold.
They look really cold. They're all wearing, like, fur hats and fur jackets and things like that, but there's so much snow, apparently, and like, little cobblestone streets. I mean, I want to be here right now. Like, I want to be there. And
but there was, like, no one on the street. It just looked empty and pretty.
It looked amazing.
Winter Wonderland.
So I really like the setting for season 2, even though it is dark, as they say, dark and dreary, but kind of goes with the Swedes' personalities.
Yeah. And then episode 1, do you want to touch on chairman of the board.
Yeah, so social media, obviously, huge thing in America.
Yeah. I actually had no idea it wasn't that big in Sweden.
Yeah.
That's my job. I do that for a living.
Yeah, I mean, I assume so, though, just because of everything else we've learned about Sweden. But Emma's new colleague from America comes and is like all about posting to Instagram and Facebook, and Emma's like, "Why I'm not having this," and she looks very bored in a photo, and it goes viral, and she's embarrassed, which I feel like when that wasn't like very professional of her in the work environment to first of all be snapping like a selfie and then also posting it knowing that like Emma looked so terrible. I felt like she knew it would be a hit because of how Emma looked, and that's not very nice.
No, she posted it, and then just, I don't think she's funny. And she was the first guest star we saw, and her name is, I have it written down, Nev, I'm not really sure how to say, if it's really Nev Campbell. She was in all, like, the Scream movies, if you guys saw those.
Yeah, she's very, like, established in her career. So it was, like, a surprising face to see, though. I guess her character does add another American in the mix, which is nice.
Yeah, I think there should be more.
I just felt like I wanted her to be like a friend to Emma, and
she is, Britta. They went out to dinner.
I guess at the end they were friends.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. At the beginning, her attitude bothered me, but at the end, it all came together.
Yeah, I liked her though. She brought fun to Emma's job because it seems very boring otherwise.
Yeah, I just think, obviously, like they do things very traditionally Swedish in every aspect of their life, and for her to like just come in there and kind of like take charge and do things the American way, I didn't think that was very nice. But overall, I do agree.
But they kind of play off stereotypes in this show, like Swedish stereotypes and American stereotypes, and the whole Americans like things their way. They're very pushy, as they like say in the show, so kind of makes sense.
It does
make her like that.
So I think that's it for episode 1.
Yeah, it was.
And at the end, they are engaged. So Bruce and Emma. Do they have a couple's name? Did we ever give them a couple's name?
I don't think we did, because they're both like one-syllable names.
They have to be like Emus
or Brahma. Yeah, no, they don't go well.
It's weird. If you guys can think of one, let us know.
Yeah.
So episode 2 was called Searching for Bergman, and Jason Priestley was on this
another
episode.
guest star. I mean, this show is pumped with guest stars every season.
Oh, Amy Poehler! Forgot to mention she was on. Was it the first?
The first episode.
No, the second.
No, it was the first.
Well,
Pretty sure it was the first.
He was the guy. She called him about the guy, and that was the second.
Yeah, but I think it was the first.
Okay. Well, we just love Amy Poehler so much.
Yeah, when at the end when they're Skyping, she goes, "Peace," and just like moves it across her face. I mean, she's so funny.
It's just funny to me, though, how they're supposed to just be like, Bruce used to work for her, but I think they looked like twins because in real life they're brother and sister. So it's weird that she's calling him like super casual when I feel like Amy should be playing his sister. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes me sad she doesn't, but I just love her character. It's like kind of just
just an exaggerated version of herself.
With a little bit of Leslie Knope in there, I think.
Funny.
Yeah, she's great. But yeah, Jason Priestley is on episode 2.
He looks great, by the way.
He does.
He's aged really well. I haven't seen him in something in years.
Yeah.
It's been years. I think the last thing I saw him on was like an ABC Family movie.
Probably. Oh, ABC Family.
I know.
They always did everything right. But anyways, so he comes to Stockholm because he wants to learn more about this director's career.
His name is
Bergman,
Ingmar Bergman, and I looked him up, and he's real. Everything they were talking about was real.
Really?
Yeah, I had a feeling because the show really plays off of like Swedish culture.
That's true.
And The Seventh Seal is like his most famous movie. It was like made in like 1950.
See, I wish I would have known it was real and like watched it because of how they all reacted. If you guys have seen this movie, let us know like the plot and what it's about and stuff.
I read. They said what they said in the show, that it's like this guy plays a game of chess with death, a character that is death.
But it's like an actual human being.
Yeah, it's like and they play chess.
Oh, why did they all made it seem like it was a terrible, like intense film?
I don't know. It got really good Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
Really?
Yeah, like 92%.
Maybe we'll have to find it.
We should find it and watch it.
But, I mean, I thought it was, so if this were, like, a real life thing, I always think it's awesome when people, like, try to really immerse themselves in the culture. Like, he came to Stockholm to learn about this director, and he's like, I want to meet people he's worked with, and, like, saw how he was as a director, and, like, I want to learn everything about him, like, the ins and outs. And I feel like if you have the means to do those types of things, like, you really should, because you can learn so much from someone else's, like, successful career or life in general. And so that made me happy that they had, like, a character who was doing something so great.
Yeah, he was really mad at Bruce, that Bruce was turning out not to be the guy that can help him.
I know.
Get him far.
I feel bad that Bruce is still unemployed. Like, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. They moved there in the summer. And Gustav, they're both still unemployed.
Yeah, but Gustav, he's trying to be an entrepreneur. He keeps thinking of these ideas. One of them is going to stick. But Bruce isn't as creative. He was an accountant. He's very left-brained. So he has to find something soon. I mean, we'll get to that more in predictions later, what we think he'll be doing. Anything else from episode 2?
No, I just really liked the whole Jason Priestley storyline, and that the uncle posed as his assistant.
Yeah,
that was really funny.
I kind of forgot about the uncle. I hate to say it, but I forgot about him a little bit because he wasn't really in, like, the last few episodes.
Yeah, but just like his love for American culture.
Yeah, and it was
like
such
movie
a good
culture.
idea to have him play this character because he knows everything about, like, any actor or director.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great fit for him.
I did too. Do you want to do Swedish fun fact now?
Yeah. Swedish
Okay.
fun fact, you guys.
Okay, this was really hard because we did so many last season that I could not
did.
think of ones we hadn't done, but I think I got some. Okay, so little something about Sweden. Many stores close early, especially on the weekends. It's hard to find a store open past 10 in the evening that isn't a gas station, and they call it a petrol station, which is funny.
No way.
Yeah, and it says...
Wait, let's, like, reflect on that a little bit. So, like, obviously
Well,
we don't
wait,
have...
it says in many Swedes are done with their regular jobs at 5, so you'll battle crowds to get your shopping done between 5 and 6:30.
What do they do during, like, the holidays? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Like, Christmas shopping and, like, holiday parties. Like, what if... So you have to go
I know,
get
if you're watching from Sweden right now, in America, we stay open super, super, super late during the holidays so that people can get their shopping
like,
done.
actual department stores
do that?
stay open till, like, midnight.
Or later.
And actually, funny side note, one time, so we used to live in San Diego, and there was a Walmart by our house, and they used to be open till 10 p.m., and we thought that was normal and late. And then they had a sign, like, from now until Christmas, we'll be open 24/7. So it was for, like, a 2-week block. And then we noticed that after Christmas was over, they continued to stay open for 24/7. Like, it's just like they were open so much that they just decided that was going to be, like, their all-the-time thing.
Yeah.
And we still think it's so funny that, like, from now until Christmas, oh, wait, just kidding, we're just going to be open all the time.
Yeah, see, I feel like in Sweden, they wouldn't do that. So I'd like to know more. If you live in Sweden, please let us know if you stay
and
open late.
7-Elevens, like, convenience stores, are open 24/7 too. So.
Yeah. I have another fact that's similar to the first one. It's not uncommon to find restaurants and stores shut down for an entire month, usually in July, while employees take their 4 to 6 weeks of holiday.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, but what if it's like your favorite restaurant?
Yeah.
And you just want those meatballs, and you're like, I can't go because it's closed for the entire month.
It is so great, though, how they're so big on vacation days. I don't have paid vacation days in my job. No, if I want to take off work, it's unpaid. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you know,
that's something I feel like if I was working there and I got, like, a month paid vacation, then I couldn't be mad that my favorite store was closed for a month.
Yeah, I agree. I like their whole take on leisurely time.
Yeah.
I like it.
I just love Sweden and the
know.
Swedes. You guys are great.
Do you want to move on to episode 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 3 is titled Scrapbook, which it kind of revolves around Bruce's scrapbook that his parents made for him.
Yeah, it's also, I remember from season 1 that there were so many things in every episode that was so different between Sweden and America.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's becoming apparent to me again. Like, seeing the scrapbook and how Emma was like, why would you keep that? Why do you have a scrapbook? And, like, me, like, I personally, not so much anymore, but, like, I used to scrapbook a lot. Like, I have a lot of scrapbooks at home. And because, you know, like, you like to remember, like special events in your life, and they make great gifts, and like this was made by his parents. It was a really nice gift.
Yeah.
And he was like showing her the scrapbook, and she had like no feelings towards it.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to show that Americans are more sentimental than the Swedish.
Yeah, but I appreciate not hanging on to things that you don't need.
Yeah.
So,
But
can
like
go both
Bruce brought
ways.
nothing to Sweden. He can bring a book.
yeah.
A scrapbook. But Emma doesn't have one, and she keeps telling Bruce that she's just this amazing skier. So they go on their family ski trip to the most beautiful ski hill I've ever seen, ever.
And also, we were saying that when they were skiing, how usually like ski hill, is that what?
Yeah.
Mountain? Well, whatever.
No, it's like hill, because like the bunny hills for little
Okay,
kids.
yeah, you're right. Like the slope.
The slope.
The ski slope.
We've skied before.
We have. It's usually kind of like in the middle of nowhere or like in a woodsy area. And when they were on the top of the hill slope, you could see the city. So we're like, so this is like a ski slope in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Oh, it's really cool. Really great views. That's another thing. I feel like Americans couldn't go there because they'd be snapping selfies left and right and be super distracted, probably get run over by someone. No one was doing that. No pictures were taken. Like Emma was saying, I was a great skier, but no one took pictures and no one documented it.
But she kept telling Bruce that she raced, what was her name? Anja Parson?
It was Anya, I think.
Okay. Well, it's a J, not a Y, but I guess however Emma said it. Down a ski slope when she was 12 and beat her. And she was actually in this episode. I'm sure she's a real competitive skier.
Yeah.
And Emma was like determined to have her tell Bruce. And Emma's very competitive. I feel like that also is a Swedish thing.
No, they were saying the whole episode that Americans are competitive and braggy and Swedish people are not.
Yeah, but don't you think Emma's very competitive?
No, I don't.
I think she
we
is.
disagree on this. What do you
We
guys
saw her
think?
at work with that guy in like the episode 1 or 2 where they kept going back and forth. Like she wanted to be head of like the deal they were in. I feel like she's very competitive. Maybe that's not a Swedish thing, but I think Emma is.
I don't really think Emma is, but
Okay.
to each their own.
Yeah.
I think Bruce is competitive. He refused to be bad at something.
I think Bruce is just a man.
Yeah, Bruce, well, yeah.
Like
he's
stubborn. Like stubborn.
Well,
Prideful is what I'm saying.
I remember last season, Emma got on our nerves because we felt like she was being rude to Bruce and kind of taking him for granted. But Bruce is kind of getting on my nerves this season. It's only 4 episodes in, but yeah.
But I also think
I think he hasn't changed a bit. Like he's like, I don't speak Swedish, and she's like, okay, we'll teach the whole class in English for the old guy that doesn't speak more than one language.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I also, watching the first 2 episodes, I was like, Emma is still kind of being rude to Bruce. Why is she never nice to him? But then I agree, like, episodes 2 and 3 kind of made me annoyed at Bruce that he doesn't have a job yet. He is very pessimistic about certain things. I feel like overall he thinks Sweden is beautiful, and it is. You can't really argue that. And he's very positive in that respect. But I also, I don't think he will ever fully adapt to the culture. Like he says he's tried to learn the language, but things like that. But the fact that, I mean, this is in episode 4, but that he wants to get married in Sweden, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I thought he would for sure want to go back to Ohio.
I was too.
So I do think that he's making like baby steps, but he was kind of annoying me too. But Emma is so mean to him, right?
Well, they're just cute.
They're
like
cute,
them.
but she's mean.
Yeah, she's just kind of stone faced.
Yeah,
I don't know.
she's very cold.
Yeah, well, it's just cold in general.
Everyone's cold.
Do you want to talk about episode 4? Because I think it was my favorite so far.
Episode 4 is my favorite too.
Yeah. So episode 4 is Parental Guidance, and Bruce's parents come to visit.
Yeah,
so
Wayne
exciting.
and Nancy in the house.
Yeah, and they're played by Alina Douglas and Patrick Duffy. And so it was great to see them back. I think they're hilarious, just like Emma's parents are really funny.
But they're both so different. Nancy and Wayne are true Americans.
Yeah. When Birger was like, okay, Wayne, let's do the dishes, he's like, are you serious? Like, the thought of a man doing the dishes after dinner just blew his mind.
I know. That's one thing. I mean, I love a lot of things about Sweden from what we learned, but that's one thing I really love is the equality, like the gender equality. And no real gender roles. I think it's great. And I think it's really great that he, like, asked Wayne to come with him, and then Wayne kind of, like, forgot about it and then just did the dishes. Like, because it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And one of the things I really noticed about episode 4 was that the parents got along really well, and I can't really remember their dynamic in season 1, but I don't think it was as good as it was in this episode.
I think it was good. Like, Wayne and Birger had that walk in season 1.
Oh, yeah.
I think that it was always pretty good.
Yeah, they seem pretty close in this.
Yeah, and I think that they're kind of finding their place. Like, we saw the mom, Emma's mom, kind of get jealous of Nancy because she's so sweet and, like, loves Emma so much because they don't have a daughter, so I think she's kind of latching on to Emma in that sense. But one thing I really loved about this episode was the fact that it's so obvious that Nancy was like, oh, what's in this dip? I love this dip. And she's like, oh, it's like anchovies. And then she's like, okay, I feel like that's a very American thing to do.
Yeah, you're trying to be polite, but really you're lying. So it's kind of like, don't lie. Just don't say anything.
Like the wedding dress. And she's like, you look so beautiful, Emma. That dress was so ugly.
I know.
Like, and Emma's very beautiful, but not, like, that dress isn't beautiful. And I think that we would almost get along better with Emma's family because we're very honest people, and they're so honest. Like, the mom is always, like, tells Emma how it is, and I think that's just better and healthier.
But I love Nancy's positivity and her spark.
I know.
Her
She's
spunk
great.
and spark.
I mean,
she's adorable.
Like, even when she says something like compliments the dip, she does mean it in a nice way, and she's trying to be sincere even if she's not. And then at the end, they all were honest about their feelings.
Yeah, it was like honesty dinner, which I liked. It
I'm
was
really
cute.
glad that Birger said he didn't want to sell the summer house to Wayne because it made me sad when he went there just to sabotage the plan. But that is like such extensive lengths to take to not sell your own home.
I know.
So I'm glad that he got that stress off of him.
Yeah. Can I just say our favorite part of all 4 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of episode 4, when Wayne pulls out the bread from their suitcase,
the loaf of bread was like
it was the length of the suitcase. So what is the length of a suitcase? Like 2 feet?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe more than
that.
that. It was huge, and it was like a foot thick.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is this? Why'd you put bread in the suitcase?
So, he said you don't put bread in a suitcase. Like, he had to tell her that people don't put bread in suitcases.
And she said, Wayne, it's the best bread I've ever had. We're taking it with us.
I need this bread.
Really could relate at that moment. So I would totally bring a loaf of bread in a suitcase if it was the best bread I've ever had.
I know, I agree. And I think we talk about this, like, once in a while, but we really appreciate when, like, a scene can be really funny without being, like, derogatory or, like, sexual. Like, I feel like that's, like, the humor that people use these days because it's just guaranteed to laugh. And, like, the fact that they were talking about bread in a suitcase and it, like, made us crack up laughing.
Yeah, we were crying.
Good writing, whoever wrote this.
Yeah.
Greg Poehler writes it, right?
Well,
He's one of the writers.
I think so.
Greg, maybe. Props.
Do you want to
do some predictions?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Okay. Well, obviously, Bruce and Emma are going to get married. I definitely think they're going to go through with it. I don't think they're going to, like, get cold feet or anything.
I think they're going to get married, too.
I kind of think they're going to get married in America. Just because last season, Bruce was supposed to be back in New York for that, like, 1 episode, and they haven't gone back since. And I just feel like in order for, like, all of those guest stars to be back, like Aubrey Plaza and Amy Poehler, I would love to see them go back to America to get married. I think it would be hilarious. It would be great.
I know. I definitely want them to get married in New York because they do have, like, friends there and Bruce's family. Or not in New York. I guess they get married in Ohio. Well, I'd rather have them get married in New York to be back in America a little bit. But I just think that they've played up this Sweden thing, like, oh, we're getting married in Sweden so much that I feel, and it's so beautiful that I feel like it'll be a picturesque scene for a wedding.
True.
But either way, we can, like, very much confirm that they're going to get married this season.
Gustav, do you think he's going to get a job, an apartment, or a girlfriend
his
first?
checklist was apartment, job, girlfriend, dog. So he got a job, got rid of it.
I think he's going to get a job next. I don't think he's going to move out the whole season.
See, I don't know, because I feel like he can't get a normal job because he has so many ideas. Like, what was his idea last season?
It was like taco truck or something?
Truck.
Yeah.
And So I think he's gonna get an apartment for his girlfriend. Maybe.
No, he's so independent.
You're gonna go with job first. I'm gonna say apartment first because I think Bruce and Emma are gonna literally force him out.
Yeah. I think Bruce is gonna get a job to help pay for the wedding, or at least a ring because he hasn't bought a new ring yet, right?
That's right.
But how expensive were those rings?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Like $24,000.
Yeah, like $25,000.
And then when you think about how cheap the summer home was, like $300,000. When you think about it like that, a ring and a summer home.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Unless they were talking about Swedish currency.
No,
but
they
said dollars.
It was a huge ring.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just way too much money.
Yeah.
Don't buy it, Bruce.
But I want Bruce to get a job more than anything. I'm going to throw that out there. I think anything that I want to see happen in these next 2 episodes, Bruce getting a job would be the best thing.
Yeah, and then I haven't looked at the rest of the guest stars, but I know there's more, and I really just hope Aubrey Plaza comes back.
She has to. I feel like she'll come back. We're definitely going to see Amy more. Mm-hmm. I just like that we kind of never really know. Like, we didn't know about Jason Priestley. It's kind of nice to never really know who's going to be on the episode and what character and role they're going to play. So that's one thing I really enjoy about this show.
Me too.
Anything else?
No. How long do you think Nancy and Wayne are going to stay? Or do you think they'll be gone after this episode?
I think they're going to peace out pretty fast.
Yeah, she's sick.
With her hemorrhoids.
How unfortunate. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, well, I think that's good, guys. You can find us on social media at the Garsow Twins on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Yes, and you can also feel free to check out our blog at twinspiration.co. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you back here next week.
Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.